Hello, my name is Barry Morgan, and as part of my activities as a member of the Probes Guildwood Club, we are always looking at different ideas to engage participation with our membership as a whole. So this is an experimental file, which I'm calling This Is Me. It's a detail of what I've been up to since I arrived on this planet Earth many years ago, from the day I was born all the way through to the current day, and various photographs of my international business, what jobs I've done, and the various things which have made up this wonderful journey that we all make through our lives. So I'm very much hoping that this may give you an idea of saying, hey, I think I'd like to have a go at this as well. And I'll be very glad to work with you and set up a one-on-one Zoom with you. Nothing personal, completely private, no details of age, address, just simply about your career, your hobbies, what you like to do, and this kind of thing. Because amongst our membership as a whole, we've got a huge range of thousands of years of experience, which we think you should share with people. So I'll do a share screen with a PowerPoint file, and then I'll just run through the photographs with you, and then look forward to getting feedback from you. So thank you for your attention. Here we go. So here's our introduction. I won't go through this again, but as you can see, I publicized the Probes Guildwood Club here, which we're all part of. For the benefit of international viewers, within Canada, we're in Ontario, right down on the north shore of Lake Ontario, and just across the lake is New York State. And at night time, we can see the lights of one of the major cities, Rochester, across the waters. This is my wife and I, Frida. This is a party we were at a while back. And this is just to help you to locate where we are in Ontario. Toronto is the nearest biggest city, and Guildwood is roughly about where I'm shaking the arrow. As I say, it's overlooking the lake. The area is called Scarborough, named after the first settlers that came to Canada, and the cliffs in Guildwood reminded them very much of Scarborough in Yorkshire, England. Many names do come from the original settlers in England. And then our capital of Canada, Ottawa, is over here. Here's the provinces Quebec, and New York State is just down here. This is my christening back in England, in the county of Northumberland, which is the northernmost county in England, and it's very close to the border with Scotland, which is just about 50 miles to the north, going to Scotland through some wonderful moorland. It's a very sparsely occupied county, apart from the main cities of Newcastle upon Tyne, which is on the River Tyne. Some wartime photographs of my brother and I and my sister, who arrived on the earth halfway through the war. And then this is my dad, who came back after the war from serving in the Royal Navy throughout the whole period of the war, 39 to 45. We were married in London, England, in Chelsea, where we both had an apartment, and it's right on the banks of the River Tyne. And this is the church, which has got lots of history going back to the 1100s. And King Henry VIII actually married one of his 6 wives there as well. That would be what, in the 1500s. I'm not too good on history. But anyway, I remember that day very well. There's my dad in his naval uniform from during the war. Incredibly, although he served all the way through the war, right until 1945, he escaped without a scratch. The Atlantic run, avoiding U-boats, then ending up in Australia, where the Japanese were pretty active. So he did very well indeed. And I still have these in my possession. Frida's family, this is her 5 sisters with her mother, Doris. Frida is the eldest of 5 sisters, and the other 4, sadly, are no longer with us. And Frida is the senior matriarch, as I might say. A bit more closer to view, this is where we come from in England. I was born in Whitley Bay, which is very close to Tynemouth. Frida was born here in Northumberland. And as I say, this is roughly where the border is with Scotland. You go over there, and it's a wonderful trip up there. And located close to Newcastle upon Tyne, if you're born on the north side of the River Tyne, we are known as Geordies. This is more up to date. My sister Leslie and her husband Jim, they were over on holiday. So our son Stephen and Frida and myself, we went up to the Black Dog for lunch. Birthday party in Whitby with our son and daughter-in-law, Beverly. And this is our daughter, Debbie, our granddaughter, Emma. And this is my great-grandson, Buddy. I wonder who this person is. Maybe somebody of you remember seeing him at the Prague Christmas lunch we had last year or the year before. And then we're both soccer supporters. So my son Steve and I went downtown just about several weeks ago to watch our club play the very last game of the season, and they won. And this is our daughter Debbie and Stephen, a little bit in the younger days, but it's a nice photo. We quite like it. And those are both homemade sweaters that Debbie knit. Very accomplished lady. After I left school in the early 20s, I took a contract to go to West Africa, the country of Ghana, which used to be called the Gold Coast, but then Ghana. So I was there for 18 months, quite a responsible job, my first time outside of England. So it was quite traumatic. I worked in the head office here, ending up as chief teller. And then after I came back to England, this is the manufacturing plant that I worked in, part of Imperial Tobacco. And I was there for a number of years before we emigrated to Canada. When I was working with the bank in Ghana, I was in the capital of Accra, and I took time to travel up to Kumasi, which is a major city to the north. And this is the Volta River that runs through most of Ghana. And then, of course, Nigeria is over here. Quite an experience for a young guy in his early 20s. I joined Centennial College after I left the TD Bank in Toronto, and this was quite a challenge. About 10 weeks in 2 contracts, and I had students from the oil fields coming in to take business courses, preparing them for more further education. It was a tremendous experience, but working in an oil field, very much third, fourth world, but the students were all fairly young, very, very friendly indeed. One of the first things a Kazakh normally says when they meet you, how old are you? That's a typical question, maybe not appropriate in Western society, but to them it's important to know, and the older you are, the greater respect they showed. So I very much enjoyed my relationship with the students, and on the final day of their various classes, it was a 7-day week. This is me presenting diplomas to the graduates of one of the particular classes. I remember that well. That was quite a fun day. I was able to do a few trips out into the oil field. This is, I just wanted this photograph because I hadn't been on one before. And as you can see, it's very much of a desert country, Kazakhstan. It's a huge country. It used to be a republic of the USSR before the USSR dissolved and all the countries dissolved into independent countries. And these are the herders that were very, very friendly, probably had never seen a white person before, and they were most friendly. And my interpreter was able to tell me what they were saying and what I was saying to them. Our golden wedding anniversary in Guildwood was a fantastic day. We invited our very closest friends, ranging from Pickering, Oakville, Markham, you name it, and these were very, very important to us. Our daughter Debbie here is Frida. This is me. And we had a piper come up from Oakville, and he walked up and down marching for us because there's a lot of Scottish blood in me, which I'll speak to you later on. And to me, that was a great thrill. A few years ago, we decided to buy ourselves an estate in Scotland, and it's in Glencoe. These are a very mountainous area, and this split of water here is running out of Loch Ness near Fort William, and this is our land, and this is my son Steve, and we both planted our foot dead at the center according to GPS. It's totally undeveloped, and you can't build. At most, you may be able to plant a tent, but it's very carefully preserved by the developer for the benefit of future generations. And this is the official certificate. And by law, if you own freehold land in Scotland, you can call yourself a title. And so I took Laird Balfour of Guildwood. Balfour comes from my paternal grandmother. That was her maiden name, which has been carried down by subsequent generations, including my dad and myself and our son Steve. We all carry the Balfour name, something I take a great amount of pride and fun with. While working for Centennial College as a professor in the School of Business, they sent me to Chennai in India, which was very, very quite an experience. This is the first day being greeted and visiting the Canadian ambassador. We're setting up a new campus for new Indian students to take their first year in India and then coming to Canada to Progress Campus for the second and third year of the program. This was a great event in our memories. My brother in England, it was his 80th birthday, so he rented a huge house in the north of Scotland, just a little bit south of John O'Groats. It would be somewhere around here, I think. Tain, then just up here is John O'Groats, which then goes over the sea to Orkney, and we did visit Orkney for a day, took the ferry across. That was quite an experience. It was great fun. And for his 80th birthday, we decided to also buy him an estate in Scotland. And I put through the paperwork. This is me knighting him, as it were. He's down on one knee. He had absolutely no idea what was happening. It was a great surprise and also a great spell of enjoyment for everybody that was there. The ladies all had a silver or golden tiara, and we all had Scottish kilts, very traditional. And I had a sword here, and I knighted my brother just like the Queen would do. So he is Lord Ashton of Whitley. Back to Guildwood here. I've always been very much involved in activities with the church in the middle of Guildwood here. Guildwood Day is always a big event, as you know, and this year it did happen again on the first Saturday in June after 2 years of lockdown. So it was a great thrill for everybody. Christmas Bazaar in November is always a very big event at the church, which I'm always very much involved with. The ladies' breakfast, very popular. Then the men's breakfast follows a couple of weeks after. These are the cooks, very much hard at work. And that's me. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but we're all part of the cooks team for the barbecue. Uh-oh, this guy's popped up again. Here he is with the children. And I can tell you, this is a great, great, thrilling part of my year's activities, being Santa. Hope I didn't spoil it for any children that's looking in. And then St. Nicholas is also part of what I like to participate in. And this was last November in the car park at the church. Coming closer to home, Probus Guildwood. This is one of our meetings just before the pandemic, which was quite well attended. It was a very good day, that particular day. This is the executive that we had just before the pandemic started at the Christmas dinner. Where has he come from? You know, somebody said to me, why do I never see you when Santa calls? Well, of course, naturally, I don't want to spoil the secret. And this is an expedition we did to a make-your-own wine store on Kingston Road. And that was a fun day as well. So that's one of the things that we get up to within our club. This is just a summary of what I've done since I left school, right from a small bank in my hometown to Ghana, Imperial Tobacco, and then we came to Canada in the late 70s. I worked with the Bell down to the TD Bank. Centennial College, I very much enjoyed working there. That was a tremendous experience working with students and helping them to graduate and go on to their own individual careers. After I retired, mandatory retirement from Senior College, a private career college in Ottawa picked me up, and I was very heavily involved with them until last year in an online travel program, which unfortunately had to wind down as part of the pandemic that greatly restricted travel opportunities. I do work for a dental school in Ottawa, and then of course Probus is now taking up a good part of my life. So that's the end of our presentation. I hope it's given you some ideas, and if you wish, by all means email me here and let me know, and I can do a one-on-one session with you. It can be very informal, nothing structured, nothing formal, nothing personal, just an opportunity to let the other members of the club know what you get up to, and maybe you have a lot of common interests with some of the other members. So thank you very much for your time. I wish you a very good day. Many thanks indeed. This is Barry Morgan signing off.